Montessori is primarily a way of being that engenders respect, patience, and the organic acquisition of knowledge.
The philosophy of Montessori is that children learn and grow at their own individual pace. We have a famous quote that we use, which is follow the child. That is, we should be teaching children what they want to learn and what they need to learn.
Maria Montessori worked to observe children, observe their cycles of learning, their styles of learning. And what they discovered was that the ages of 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12 have somewhat separate sensitivities. The 3-year cycle enables students to work with each other, learn from each other, teach each other, learn what you teach, and to have collaborative discussions.
Students come in typically as 3-year-olds to our program. They are in the same classroom for 3 years where they develop strong relationships with teachers and other classmates.
Because our classrooms are multi-age, we can provide remediation or enrichment right inside of the classroom for a child that may need it, because our materials cover all of the learning that happens across that 3-year learning cycle.
We say in Montessori, the best teachers of children are children. So in order for children to be able to help and support each other in their learning, it's about community.
I think Montessori prepares you by building up your strength with other people and learning how to communicate.
In a Montessori classroom, we really appreciate each child's unique learning needs. And students come into class every day, they have a work plan, and they know that they can learn at their own pace with materials that are developmentally appropriate.
So for me, I personally believe Montessori schools, they prep you to be able to associate and communicate with different people and of different groups and a wide range of different challenges.
I knew that there was mixed ages in the classroom, and I didn't know how practical that would be for a learning environment. And what I saw when my son entered a mixed age room was that there was so much collaboration and learning beyond what was on a piece of paper, that there was a lot of teaching happening from both the younger students and the older students. And that was something that was really important to us, that our child learned how to interact with people beyond his own age.
What has been wonderful for my son is that he has felt responsible for himself and had that sense of accountability, that he is crafting his own education.
I would invite any parent who is interested in having their child here to know up front that you're joining a team, that we want your input and we will offer our input, and together we'll figure out the best route to move forward.
It's really nice. I think the community is great. The parents, they're great. I just think overall it's just a very welcoming, when you come here, you just always have someone to talk to, I feel like.
My kids are thriving by learning how they learn, and that's what this school is so amazing for. And I believe once that happens, the test scores will come. Let them learn and figure out how they learn, and that's how they're gonna excel.
My children all came here, and I think a lot of other parents send their kids here strictly because we are Montessori. And the structured choice is one of the biggest benefits. Students have contracts or daily work plans, maybe weekly work plans. And so they have all this work they need to do, but they get to choose when they do what work. So if they're feeling like doing math, they get to choose a math work. And if they're feeling like it's time to do some reading, they can choose their reading work.
My 9th grader right now is doing 11th grade math. And that's a result of him speaking up for his own needs and for the staff responding to those needs.
We are not a hippie school. Trust me, as a new principal coming in, I looked on there are rugs everywhere and you're stepping over kids to get to things. But when you look at what they're really doing, it's higher level thinking. It's independent and critical thinking.
Montessori believes in a triangular relationship between the parent, the teacher, and the child to address not just the child's academics, but the spiritual aspects of the child, the emotional aspects of the child, the physical aspects of the child, as well as the academic, because they all work together for that child's development.
Learning doesn't end at the end of the school day. When the child comes home, then they need that support at home too. And that needs to trickle into the school and out of the school.
Everyone's goal is, I want to make sure my student or my child is successful, so we're willing to do whatever it's going to take.
We have first, second, and third graders all in the room together, and preschoolers in the same room with kindergartners, and our fourth, fifth, and sixth graders are all in the community together. So they get to learn from each other and work together. It's a community feel. It's not a every man for himself sort of setup. It's building community with everything that we do here.
In a Montessori classroom where peers are supporting each other with self-checks, where older students are helping younger students, I feel like we're doing an awesome job of preparing students to be a part of society.
We have worked really hard to build a positive school community where our families are involved, our teachers are working together, and our students enjoy coming to school. And I really enjoy building into that culture.
We want our children to be global citizens and to be caring and compassionate, and that's what Montessori is teaching our kids.